Welcome to Butterfly Blackout. Please stand for the national anthem in spoken word. Oh, say, can you see, by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare. It's so loud. Serious. The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave. Verse 1. Welcome to Butterfly Blackout. Next episode, we will do verse 2 by yours truly. I know that people are used to singing and playing instruments, but nobody ever did spoken word.
Yes.
So, there you go. That's my contribution.
Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You made me laugh. You weren't supposed to make me
I
laugh.
didn't even look at you. Who told I made you laugh?
There's so much going on. How's everybody? We are here with Truth and the one and only Jeff.
You mean Geoff, since you got this English
Geoff?
accent going on here?
Oh, you noticed?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, good Lord, in and out. Oh, thank you. I'm good.
Okay, so follow me,
Okay.
okay, and chime in when you feel like you need to.
Okay.
That's how we're going to work today.
I didn't want to cut you off, but go ahead.
That's okay, but just chime in when you get the spirit, okay? That's
Okay.
how we're going to do all this, the way I laid it out.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Breaking news. Breaking news in Hollywood. Los Angeles, downtown. Singer, actress, songwriter, Tamar Braxton was hospitalized at the age of 43, because that plays a role in it, for an alleged attempt at suicide. Now, when I first heard the report, I was thinking to myself, suicide? She ain't commit no suicide. Maybe it was an accident. Why are we so quick to assume somebody's trying to kill themselves? Okay, so she was drinking. She always drinking. So she had some pills. She said she ain't feel well. So maybe she was doubling up on the pills because she was trying to... Listen, people get paranoid these days. COVID-19 still exists, y'all. So she could have been in that like, oh, crap, what if I have COVID-19? So she just doubled up and she passed out. She could be awake right now in the hospital, not even realizing that they all thinking suicide. And she's probably like, bop, bop, a do bop, suicide. I ain't going to commit suicide. I got Logan. I got David. I got my hair show on VH1. What? Suicide? Who's saying all this? Oh my gosh, the blogs. That's probably what's going on right now, right? But I want to give you the facts. So she's 43 years old, like I said. She was unresponsive in her room. She was found by her boyfriend. Allegedly, she was in stable condition and under a 24-hour watch. So when you try to commit suicide, they got to hold you, because they think you're going to probably do it again. But then some people that are suicidal, if they didn't do it the first time, chances are they will try again anyway. So therapy, if this is what she was trying to do, but I don't want to put it out there like that's what she was trying to do. We need to hear the facts. She had a very tough and emotional day. Now, why? We all have tough and emotional days. Haven't you, Jeff?
Yes.
Truth, haven't you ever had?
Absolutely.
Because we're regular folks, right? We had tough and emotional days. I mean, shoot. I'm a single parent. It's tough and emotional. Last night for me was tough, okay? And very emotional. But it is what it is. We keep pressing. We keep moving on. If you're spiritual, you look up. If you're not, you look down. It is what it is, right? She has a new series on WeTV called Tamar Braxton, Get Ya Live. I saw that trailer.
Okay.
It seemed fine to me. It got me engaged to want to watch it. If you know anything about WeTV, they have crazy shows like Bridezillas, Love After Lockup. They do the Braxtons. the Braxton Family Values. They've been on since 2011. And, you know, whenever a network has a new show that they're promoting, they chop it up and edit. So that way it's, you know, appealing to the masses. Why? Because they want people to watch it. So you know what they're going to do because that's what they do. Should you be offended? Not really, because obviously they got to get people to watch a show, right? And they're only taking clips that they shot. So if you're seen yelling at somebody, is it their fault that you're yelling at somebody, or is it your fault that you're yelling at someone? Because they can't make it up. You were yelling, right? That's, you know what? Just watch the show when it comes out. Okay. So this series explores the star's journey with motherhood, love, and her career as she records a new album. Now, you know, she's divorced from Vincent Herbert, and now she's with this new guy, David, from Nigeria. Her boo thing, she loves him, and I think she jumped into this relationship rather quickly, but some people can't stay single, but that's okay, because David's a cool guy. You know, if you ever met him, we haven't, but we've seen him on TV and YouTube. He seems like a cool guy, and he's got her in check. And sometimes as a woman, you need a guy, if you're outrageous, you need that balance. You need that person that can come in and check you when you're supposed to be checked.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? Or spanked, either way, however you like it.
Wait, is he younger than her?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's not even an issue.
He laying at good woods. You can say
So,
what
in that trailer, she's heard saying, I lost my family, I lost my dreams, it's time to give myself a shot. So, this is like all about her getting everything back. All right? Now, currently, she had moved out of her house with Vincent Herbert, who's going through his own money woes. Nobody's really seen him. He's still alive and doing his own thing, but a lot of people probably blackballed him because he wasn't good with the money and things were looking funny. Wasn't good with the money, things look a little funny,
yes.
right? How
Look
that
at you.
rhyme?
Good job.
So currently she stays at the Ritz-Carlton residential apartments, which run between $25,000 and $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
But they're also
Damn.
claiming that she has money troubles.
I was just
I
about to
could tell.
say.
A
If they saying it was funny with him and he took her money, how you paying for that?
Why would you move in there? I mean, ideally, she could have, and I'll keep it honest, she could have gone back to Maryland or Georgia. She could have gone to Georgia and stayed with her mom.
Or she just could have rented or brought a house for cheaper.
I think it's the
Yeah, that's another idea.
what do they call that? The oh gosh, we're trying to make sure everyone sees you in a certain light.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of, you know, it actually being real, it's not perspective or something like that. You know, you want people to how they view you to still think you're flashing all this money when you're putting yourself more and more debt.
True.
Sad.
So she's currently in a contract dispute with WeTV. After the network released the trailer for her new reality show, it left her blindsided. She was very upset because it made her look horrible, and that's not the picture she wanted people to see. I guess she wanted people to see a different Tamar. And she's been in a contract dispute with WeTV for a long time, since I think season 6 of Braxton Family Values, where they all walked off the set because they weren't being treated properly, and they always compare themselves to the Kardashians, and they're not getting a Kardashian pay and all this other nonsense.
Can I ask a question? Were they getting the Kardashian views?
I don't know.
They were holding WeTV down for to stay there.
I would say they were very popular. Everybody tuned in pretty much to the Braxtons because they were very popular, and mainly because I think a lot of people wanted to see Tony when we got to see Tony. I don't think anybody really cared about the other sisters except for Tamar, because Tamar was a big personality.
Agreed.
But then she got her spinoff with Vince, so it was Tamar and Vince, and then that fell apart. So now that she has a new show with WeTV, I'm wondering what kind of contract you have with We. In 2011, you signed up with the Braxton Family Values. If you were having contract issues, then something should have been resolved. It's 2020. So you're telling me you have a 9-year contract with WeTV? What is that contract? Then you sign up for this show. Is this supposed to be in place of Tamar and Vince? Because you guys are no longer together, so maybe you owe them another season. So you already know the devil that you're working with. Why are you even giving all of your energy to the devil that you're working with when you know they didn't treat you right before? So why are you getting all in your feelings?
I have an answer.
And you're out here in this celebrity-driven world. You got a brand new show that people really like. They said this is your comeback. You lost your job on The Real. People went to bat for you, but nobody really understands why they let you go anyway. And you try to rebrand yourself. You shaved your head. It was a whole bunch of stuff we followed you through. You are 43 years old. I understand that you, Tamar, have issues. Like all of us regular folks, we have issues. There's something called an insurance card, right? So if you have insurance, and I'm hoping that you do, that's how you're going to pay for your medical bills, right? You, on the back of your insurance card, there's a 1-800 number or a 188 number. You call that number. You give them your policy number, and you ask them to find therapists in your network, right? So they will give you a bunch of therapists in your network. You call to see who's taking you patients. And really, they should be giving you the ones that are taking you patients. You set up a time. You're in Hollywood, so you could do a virtual. Open your laptop. Y'all could connect one-on-one. And all you got to do is just pay a copay. The really good ones that you think perform miracles, they don't take insurance. So us regular folks, that's what we have to do. Some people have a copay of $10, and they sit with their therapist for an hour for $10, and they get their therapy sessions once a week. And it's all good. So I don't understand. A lot of people are saying we need to have sympathy. We need to pray for her. Pray for what? You are 43 years old. You had plenty of time. Weren't you doing some self-reflection? You want me to sit here and have pity for what? That she allegedly tried to commit suicide? I don't have pity for anything, especially if I don't even know if that's what she tried to do. I don't know Tamar. But apparently all you other celebrities that are praying for her know her. Nene Leakes, you were talking about how, you called her, you just spoke to her. Well, then, if you knew something was kind of funny as her friend, wouldn't you have gone an extra step to making sure she was okay? I have a best friend. She lives in D.C. Now, if I speak to her on a regular basis. I know my friend inside and out. I know when something's funny, okay? I know when we hang up the phone and I get that nah, son, something was off about that. I'm going to call her back. She's going to pick up the phone. We're going to have that conversation. She's also a therapist, so I get free therapy sessions. Win-win. But see, I know my friends. Tamar got how many sisters and a brother? Y'all grew up with her for years. You know her inside and out. You should know if something's off with your sister. Y'all don't go in there and check and do like a wellness check to see if everything's okay. You see she's acting a little funny. Nobody wants to say, hey, let's do a sister powwow session, spend the night. I know it's COVID-19, but everybody talks about the mental part, that's so important. If it's so important, then why are you all not taking the steps to making sure she's okay if that's what she tried to do? We don't really know what she tried to do. It's just alleged. Everybody's so quick to say she was trying to commit suicide. We don't even know if that was going through her head because she sent a cryptic message because she's upset at WeTV.
Hold on.
You're upset at WeTV, and you walked off the set on the Braxton and family values, but at the same time, y'all still haven't resolved nothing. You talking about you created a whole theme song that you still haven't gotten your coins. Well, you ain't ever take them to court? I'm confused.
So, all right, here you go. Let me jump in here now because I was waiting for you to get all good in your rant. So this supposedly happened after she saw that same video you saw of the new show.
The trailer.
The trailer of the new show. And can only assume because it's her and what she's known for, she was acting out, yelling at people, acting crazy, doing something outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah. She tried.
Time out. What happened to the Steve Harvey deal? I thought Steve Harvey, after you got fired from The Real, did he offer with his production company to give you something? What happened? I know you was on his show for a little bit trying to give women advice about dating, and I didn't understand that since you was going through your divorce. Why is it when people go through a divorce, they feel like they got to be experts on dating? Go ahead, finish. That irritated my soul. Go ahead.
Oh man, don't do what I did. That's the expert advice. Don't do what I did.
Pretty much.
That's all I can say. But to go back to this, if she really wanted in her head to change her image, and WeTV or any of those shows are only messing with her because of how wild she can get, that's her only selling point. That's all she is known for. She too wild to stay at the real. She too wild to be here. She too wild to do that. We only want you when you're going to get in fights or act out, not when you're civilized. And if she's feeling in her head, I wanted to be civilized. I know I gave him a lot of footage, but I wasn't acting out and I wasn't doing this. Why are they only using that? Now, that is in her contract of how they can control the image that is being put out. Mm-hmm. She needs to control that because that's what Tony had. Like, nah, that's why you see her few and far between. You know, it's how she signed her contract. Now, when we go back to contracts, she probably had a multi-series deal.
Right.
Which is really bad.
I mean, if WeTV really came to us and said, "Truth, hey, I want to do a show on, all your people," I mean,
you got to remember though, all those big guys. Well, it goes to production company, and then production company sells it to the TV place after they put up their funds for it. But the thing is, the TV places all know her, so they sit there and be like, we can't sell this. I can't sell her on MTV. I can't sell her on this. I can only sell her at this WeTV station that's doing well. She stays within that same route. Maybe goes to VH1 or something like that. But she's within the same couple of channels doing the same thing. She's still locked into that multi-series deal, so maybe she can leave the Braxton show, but she got to finish maybe 3 extra seasons if she leaves early, on this show, or make up for the lost show. So meaning if she says she didn't get paid for doing the song, probably because she did something in the other show. The contracts are so convoluted when you do a multi-series deal. That shit'll break you down. And you're right. Why you living in a $30,000 a month place, and you talking about if he got financial woes? I know you got financial woes because I know he wants some of your money.
Listen, get well, girl, but I mean, save the drama for your mama. I really am going to need for people to stop hanging on the coattails of these celebrities, because celebrities got issues just like regular folks. And us regular folks, what do? We just take the insurance card, pay a copay, keep it moving. We ain't got time for all that. And we don't have time for her nonsense either, but I will watch your show on WeTV. Next, Nick Cannon is on his apology tour. So here's the thing. Nick Cannon was on his podcast, Cannon's Class,
yes,
with former Public Enemy member Professor Griff.
Yes. Where
he was saying some interesting things about Jews.
Yes, Semites, anti-Semites, and stuff like that. Yep.
Okay, so I could read the quote, but by this time that you're seeing this, y'all already know what happened. Okay. So Viacom, CBS that owns him, terminated their relationship with him. They condemn bigotry of any kind, and they categorically denounce all forms of anti-Semitism. They say that Nick promoted hateful speech and spread of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories.
That's what they said, but they never said particularly which part of his speech was that.
They were troubled at the time that Nick failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating anti-Semitism. Okay. Here's my issue. Nick had an opinion. It's his podcast, right? He shared his beliefs and his opinion. Apparently, when you do that, you have a chance of offending people. His words offended Jewish people. His bosses are Jewish. So when they're offended, they fire you. Now, could he have saved his job? Maybe, if he had acknowledged that he was wrong to say what he said. But here's the thing. If it's his opinion, why should he apologize for his opinion? As you know, in this show, I ain't going to apologize for nothing. I said what I said. And I meant it. Now, if you want to come over here and school me, okay, fine. But I'm not going to apologize for what I said because I said it. Nick Cannon said what he said. That's what he believed. He grew up believing one thing. right? Just like Jewish people grew up believing something, black people grew up thinking something, the alphabet people grew up thinking something. Now, if you say something about the Jews, they get offended, you get fired. If you say something about the alphabet people, they get offended, you can say, boo, they offended, okay? You can say, hi, Charlie, and Charlie is really Charlize. And then they could go and say, you know what, I'm going to file a complaint against you because you didn't call me Charlize like you were supposed to know that. Everybody gets offended. Everybody is sensitive. So in the beginning, Nick wasn't going to apologize. Just like Kevin Hart, when he made jokes years ago, joking with a friend, gays got offended because somebody had to look up his old tweets. And then what happened? They wanted him to apologize, and he said he wasn't going to apologize. And I was like, that's right. You don't need to apologize for something. It was a joke. It wasn't directed to anybody gay. You were talking to your friend. Why is this something that's indirect affecting you? And nobody even knows who you are. But he has to apologize, but he caved and apologized because it was affecting his coins. All right, when something's affecting your coins, then maybe you should just move on and do stuff on your own platform. Because you know you have a whole audience that's still going to be behind you, right? Okay. Nick Cannon, you apologized after you said you weren't going to apologize because, what, your coins are being affected now? I'm confused. All right, bet. So now that that's being affected, you went on a Twitter tirade.
Yes.
Upset because you're being black or you're being abused by your black community because, you know, they're calling you a traitor. Well, sir, you stood for something and then all of a sudden you caved to your white master because they wanted you to apologize and you didn't want to apologize? I mean, even Diddy said, come over to revolt.
He did.
Meaning your black people will help you, right? You don't need them, but apparently you need the white people. So if that's what you feel like you need to keep yourself there and to save face, sure, go ahead. I mean, also, he's taking time away from his radio show for reflection. His radio show is now on pause. He was supposed to have a talk show premiere at the end of this year. It's now pushed back to 2021. And Wildin' Out was taken from him, and that's been going on since 2005. Sir, you've had that show since 2005, and you didn't even own it?
But here's all right, so I'm going to cut you off on this. So here's the problem. It's not going back to your white masters. It's owning intellectual property, something we talked about a long time, even when we started this thing. Who owns what? For him to get Wildin' Out through, he had to sell it away. It was his idea. He gathered all those folks. He continually raised that baby to what it is. Mm-hmm. And now he can't take the name. Now, can he go call it something else and go to revolt?
Absolutely.
Well, no, he has a non-compete clause in those. We all forgot about that.
We didn't forget about it. That's a bad
that's
deal.
Part of those deals. You cannot go probably for somewhere else with the same idea hosted by you. Now, if Nick Cannon's cousin says, yo, I'm out wilding, and he sells that to Diddy, you know what I'm saying? And Nick can't have nothing near it. All right.
Well, that means Nick is dealing with his pride. Because what Nick can do is, Nick can have one of the main guys there, I think it was the brothers or whatever it is, go ahead and start it. Nick can own it, give the guy a little piece of it, or however they're going to work that out. And he could be in the back of the back
They'll try
office.
to find a way to sue him or stop it again. Because now, look, you talked about an upcoming talk show. You talked about his radio show. He don't own that radio station. He don't own that company. So the intellectual property that he puts on there isn't his. He don't own that. You get what I'm saying? So look what they're able to do because they all hang in the same circle.
Well, hey, that's not my problem. If you wanted to go run with that beast, that's on you. Now people thinking you suicidal because you want to leave the planet Earth. We ain't got time for all that. Listen, Nick, you said what you said. I would have felt better if you would have stand your ground or you would have stood your ground and said, hey, I said what I said. I'm not apologizing because this is my belief. Now, if you want to have an open dialogue, then come on my platform and we can have that open dialogue. This is also something for everybody else that's black. Because the Jewish people own so much and control so much,
right,
and they also control BET, it's time for black people to move away and really have their own platforms. And this is something we've been talking about for years. Why? Just like the conservatives are moving away and they're getting their own platform because they're being censored, black people need to do the same thing because we need our own stuff. We need to be in control of our own stuff. Do you think you're going to get fired because you offended somebody? Who cares? It's an opinion. We have a First Amendment for that.
I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm going to destroy your rant.
Go ahead.
Where you distributing this shit to? This is the problem when the Jewish when we all was singing bopping back in the 50s and 60s, and why you think every Jewish person was in all those record labels where you were selling your stuff to? Nobody. You can sing in the backyards all you want. You can make all the videotapes you need to. They're not going nowhere. You want that on that TV? You want that on that big 1,000-inch screen? You got to come back to us. So Diddy, get revolting, and then come make a contract with me, and I'm going to give it to you for the diamonds because I ain't want Nick to do nothing since you put him back on there. We all forget they control the stream, the highway of the function to get to A to B. Besides internet, which Nick has probably tried, and to go to it, and even the internet could be stopped, because that was part of the thing that Trump had took up from before.
Facts.
We all forgot about that when he had the Indian dude come over and become the thing. Now they can cut down your streams. Oh, you watching the Nick Cannon show? You get low speed. She gets high speed because she's with the AT&T and the Viacom folks.
It's a hot mess.
It is. It's really bad. It's really bad. Now you need control. This is the system you need to tear down. This is something people need to go out there. Everybody needs to go out there and go against. March, protest, whatever the hell y'all want to do.
Stay 6 feet apart and wear your mask. Georgia, sweet Georgia. Okay, so Mayor Keisha Bottoms and the governor, Governor Kemp,
Yes.
are having issues. They're beefing. Big time beefing. Why are they beefing? Well, Mayor Keisha Bottoms wants to mandate masks for Atlanta. The governor has an executive order that eliminates mandatory mask. So her asking for mandatory mask is in direct violation of what he's asking for or what he signed. Her thing is Savannah mandated mask in late June. Athens, which is his hometown, mandated mask a week or two ago. And I think this is like probably before he put out the executive order. So on Instagram, I was talking to this person who's from Atlanta. And, he was like, I stand with the mayor. So I asked him a question. I was like, well, you only have 3,000 deaths. Like, you have a lot of people that live in Atlanta, and like I think you have a population of 10 million people in Georgia altogether.
Okay.
It's only 3,000 deaths. That's like less than 1%. So, what's the big deal about this whole lawsuit? Well, honey, he wasn't happy with me. He said, well, the governor mandated in his own hometown, but Atlanta can't have the mandate. So I had to research. It's funny when you do research, you learn things. So then I went back to him and I asked him, was it the governor that mandated it, or was it the mayor of Athens that mandated it? Because that's not the same thing.
Right.
If the mayor did it, that's not the governor. So you can't just sit there and say that the governor mandated his hometown to wear a mask if that's not true, because that would go against everything he just said in the executive order and in his speech regarding why he doesn't want them to have mandated masks.
Right.
He didn't get back to me. I doubt that he will.
It's funny that you said those two towns, because you know the difference between them and Atlanta, though, right?
What?
Complexion.
Want to take a big guess?
Oh, I know.
Complexion.
I know. And I'm not saying it's a race-related thing, but the thing is that you're saying that, in his hometown of Athens, great, but he didn't mandate it. He wrote that the governor mandated it, and he did not.
Oh, yeah.
This is where you have to speak facts and truth. You can't just be making up stuff. Okay? Y'all in your feelings, but you can't be making up stuff. Again, you guys are all paranoid, but yet your mayor, who allegedly has COVID-19, but she's been, on this campaign trail, showing her face and doing all these interviews. She looked quite well to me. So I don't know why y'all paranoid. But hey, that's not for me.
I got a quick question before you move to the thing. Would you rather when the shootings went on and you know she was out there backing the police, would you rather her stay inside and just do videos, like supporting and doing whatever she was doing?
Oh,
and
I
not
don't care what
supporting,
she's doing.
or her being
that's
out
not my
there showing
issue.
her face?
That's not. No, I'm talking
I'm
about
saying-
now that she came down with COVID. She's on this like
Because
whole
this- but
tour
this is why.
to say that yes, I came down with COVID. My whole family. Don't forget, you had an 8-year-old girl that was shot. But instead of talking about that, you want to talk about how you and your family were coping with COVID. I ain't got time to that. I ain't got time. Priorities. I don't care about you and your
She tried to
family
get
who
the
are
people
just
in.
fine.
She tried to get the people in. You can't knock it.
The governor is suing because it violates his executive order. While some cities are mandating the mask, they're mandating wearing a mask with certain conditions. So it's not like what she's trying to do. I think that's what needs to be said because some people are getting it confused. Okay,
What was she doing that was different?
she wants everybody to wear a mask all the time. Like
So what was it? No, it wasn't in the stores and all that stuff.
it's everywhere.
So even when I'm outside,
Yes, she wants
walking my dog,
everybody
wear a mask.
wearing masks. If you're caught without a mask, you're getting fined. And he was like, no. Like, what? No. Kemp is asking that the mayors encourage the use of masks, not require it. He said everybody's intelligent to know to wear a mask. So in other words, when you're going into a store, wear a mask. If you came out the store, you don't have to wear a mask. She wants everybody to wear a mask, period.
but it's a difference between you're required and encouraging. I'm with you on the whole thing of who is saying what. But the fact is, if she knows her town is getting hit the hardest because people are on top of each other. Because
Because
they
people
don't
are on
care
top
about-
of each other? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, let me help you out with that.
Go ahead.
So, Kemp also addressed the recent surge in COVID-19 cases.
Go ahead.
Okay? And he said, and I give him props for this because he's the only one that actually came out to address this. And he spoke the truth. Partly caused by the demonstrations protesting police brutality. The protest sent a message to people that it was okay to gather in large crowds. Remember when everybody was protesting and COVID took a whole break and nobody talked about it? And then all of a sudden, there's a surge of COVID cases. I don't understand what's going on. Now everybody's in a panic. Y'all don't remember when y'all was out there protesting and they was out here doing all this crazy stuff and rioting and stuff? Yeah, that might be the reason why. Hello, Mayor, get your town in order. Don't say that they were on top. Yeah, they were on top of each other. You were absolutely right. They're on top of each other. Everybody out there protesting. See, what you should have said was, I get you're upset, but remember the coronavirus? Y'all got to go back home. Y'all can't do this.
We're not even talking about the protests. They on top of each other. They opened up everything in the state. So you're talking about an overcrowded town. You can go do whatever the hell you regular wanted to do. So that means we're going to sit at the chicken wing spot and chill. We're going to go in the barber shop, which is already tight, and talk BS. We're going to go to the beauty salons, whatever. They tried to live their normal life. Making it worse within the same time.
So, excuse me. I'm sorry.
It's happened in the same time period.
So wait. So
Go ahead.
they opened up the state. So you mean to tell me that these people that opened up the states didn't have CDC guidelines to follow? That the people in the nail salon and the beauty salons, they didn't take those exams to get their certificate to say that they passed COVID-19? That's not my problem, Mayor. You're supposed to handle that.
So when you're stopping the mayor, if she knows people aren't handling that, and her only thing to combat that, which they were going off for speculation here because nobody knows, if she's feeling this is the one way to combat that, why would you deny her the right to combat that? Everybody got to wear masks now, no matter what, because
you
they
added
didn't do
on
this,
top of
you
that,
didn't do
because
that.
he just put out the executive order, and you're adding on top of that, you're gonna get fined if you don't.
You need to.
But
You need
here's
to
the
have
thing.
something.
This is the other part. You opened up. Okay, she has a responsibility too. You waited until these cases surged before you decided to do something. So your only resolution is to have everybody wear a mask, get T.I. and Killer Mike to talk to the people. That's your only resolution.
That's not her resolution. Look at here, dude.
It all
That's
goes
not-
down.
It's not.
That's
You're
not
right.
her resolution.
No.
It's the funding, and this is
No.
when they're the.
And she
starts
supports
with
the
him.
funding the police.
What
But
I'm saying, it's two
look,
different
You're talking about
functions.
3 different issues on that one.
when you have the mayor who's in charge of the city and the governor who's in charge of the entire state, he's worried about the state funding.
Right.
She's worried more about the individual town or whatever she's
Exactly,
Atlanta
the town.
that she's in charge of. He's looking at the broad. Okay, well, I just got off the phone with Trump, and Trump said he ain't liking that. And if he ain't liking that, he not gonna hit me with the $2 billion funding I get already. He gonna knock that down to 1.2.
Right.
I can't have that. So it's all about the funding, unfortunately. Yes, at the end of the day, if we're talking about the how to better the entire state, that is the way to do it. But then again, this could just be for the public. He probably gave her a call, be like, hey, listen, boo-boo, I'm going to spank you. I don't mean to spank you, but we got to make it look good. You throw me a left jab, left right. I'm going to play footsies with you under the table. I break on 3.
Isn't she hoping that she'll be tapped for VP?
No, who's that up for VP?
Absolutely not.
No, nobody
Not
was
her.
mentioning her for nothing.
Not
Yo,
her.
if she went to VP, I'm voting for Trump.
Not her.
I'm like, look, I don't know what the
Shouldn't
fuck
she
they
be
doing.
voting for Trump anyway?
Ain't doing that. Well, no, my money wasn't good this year. I just paid my
Absolutely.
taxes. That shit was horrible. I was hurting.
Well, later in the show, you might want to rethink that. Moving on, because we're done with Georgia. I ain't got time for them today. Facebook. So we're gonna boycott Facebook.
What Facebook now?
Did you get that picture I sent you?
Oh,
So there's a picture.
Okay.
And the title says it's a little girl holding hands with a guy. And the caption says pedophilia is a natural sexual orientation.
On Facebook?
It is our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles. So somebody reported it.
Okay.
And
good.
then Facebook said, thank you. I can't see that part, but it
Maybe
says,
an
thanks for
automated
letting us
response?
know
Yeah.
about this.
That's the automated. Okay.
This photo was reviewed. And though it doesn't go against one of our specific community standards, you did the right thing by reporting it. So, Facebook is down with the pedophilias.
Did they take it down?
Nope.
Did you not just
It
read
said,
what
even
I
though
just
this
said?
doesn't go with it, thanks for reporting.
They took one of my photos down.
So, what are we doing with Facebook now? Y'all so quick to be on Facebook. They support pedophilia.
I'm gonna keep it funky.
Funk it up.
If you argue for what's the thing we were talking about the week before last, LGBTQ plus.
First of all, let me stop you because you're being ignorant.
How am I being ignorant?
All right, because I don't want nobody shutting us down. LGBTQ plus. Oh, I didn't know. I thought you left out a letter.
LGBT.
I thought you left out a letter.
I said it slow, but damn. My bad. I know had to say it.
I want to make
63
sure.
seconds,
I want to make sure I didn't leave a letter out.
Yeah. Whatever the hell them people.
Sorry.
Whatever it was. If you can argue that gender is different and transgender athletes can be with this, I knew that shit wasn't far behind because people have always put the pedophilia folks in there, the plus minus that you always said. And it's
my
in
bad.
medical
Okay, I
books.
see.
And it's in old medical text from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So it's real. It's right there, borderline.
Yes. Okay, I apologize. Let me apologize to you, okay? This is how you do an apology. I apologize. It's LGBTQ plus minus.
Oh yeah, you always thought of there you go. Plus minus.
You'll understand why
add
next.
4.
There you go.
But let's, so the picture's right up there so you guys can see. So if you still support Facebook, which you shouldn't if you have kids, this should really piss you off. They're just letting you know where they stand. Pedophilia is okay.
Put that shit out there.
So Kanye West 2020, the birthday party. So he's still in it, y'all. He's still in it. He filed to be on the presidential ballot in Oklahoma. The ballot fee is $35,000.
Yes.
I'd have been like, I'm out. That ain't for me.
Who you thought it was cheap?
I thought it was free. Shoot.
Are you bugging? No.
Here's my thing, Kanye. if you want us to believe that you're serious, then I would appreciate you to go back to Chicago and run for mayor. Show us that you can clean up Chicago before you decide you want to clean up the world or the United States of America. I don't know what your game plan is. I need for somebody intelligent to have a conversation with you, because right now this doesn't make any sense. First of all, you're calling yourself the birthday party. All right. Second of all, I haven't seen you go over and right now, do you know who's in Chicago right now?
Lori Leffler?
Right now in Chicago, the Muslims are on foot walking the streets in Chicago. So why are you not in Chicago?
Because the Muslims are there.
He's not Muslim.
My point is that if the Muslims can travel and walk the streets of Chicago, Kanye, get off your high horse, take your behind, leave your wife and kids, and go do the work that you need to do in Chicago since you love it so much.
You bugging. That's why they went to Wyoming. Remember, he was.
But you got to build this big mansion in Wyoming. That money could have been spent. You got a whole farm with horses that you have somebody else taking care of. That money could have been spent helping the people in Chicago. That's your hometown, right?
Why should he help people he don't know? People kill me with that.
No, I'm not saying help people that he doesn't know. I'm saying you love Chicago so much and you see that you're... Here's the thing. Everybody has a home place that they come from, and everybody talks about doing stuff and charity work, but I don't ever see them give it back to where they came from.
So it means that he's not going
they
to...
don't care.
He's not going to do that. You can't expect some... People kill me when they expect somebody with money to do... If the person wanted to do it, they would have done it.
But he's running for president.
He's not.
What you mean he's
not?
not?
He's doing what he's getting paid to do.
Oh. It's being truthful and dropping some truth.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, y'all really got it twisted. When there will be a lot of people that will vote for Kanye.
Absolutely. That would take it from Biden. That would give Trump that edge.
And hold on. When he did it in Oklahoma?
Yes, he did.
What's Oklahoma's the vote count?
It doesn't matter.
No,
it does matter.
No,
Oklahoma is a 25.
He won't. We live in New Jersey. He won't be on.
Oh, you're talking about the delegates? The
state the delegate count. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But think about it. He won't be on New Jersey's thing. But if Oklahoma's one of those that has like fucking 50.
Yeah, they got 25, 27 points, something like that.
But think about it. He split that shit down the middle. Trump walked in and just rack up.
All right.
We laugh.
The real Tamar Mary Housley announced her departure, leaving Lonnie Love, Adrienne Bailon, and Jenny Mai. Listen, I already knew that was happening because she was barely ever there anyway. So I don't know if she's going to have a cooking show with her husband because they always cooking on Instagram. I just want Tamara to be her own person. That ain't Tamara.
I thought you said that. My bad. I'm like, why is she skipping? My bad.
Listen. I feel like she's following her sister Tia's footsteps because Tia was doing the cooking and had a cooking show, and I just want you to be your own person. I don't need you to cook with your husband. I need you to just do your own thing. You know, stop biting off your sister. Your sister didn't bite off getting her own talk show like you had a talk show, so can you do something different? That's irritating.
I always have one twin that is, more
it's not real
dominant than the other one.
It's not real.
But you gotta understand, like, it's not really like she was bringing in a good paycheck. So she has to do something.
Wait, she hasn't been there since the COVID? Like on and off a lot?
Oh, no, they do it from home. But, while before COVID, it seemed like she was always MIA. And that's when I realized I don't think she's in it for the long haul. Like, if they tap me and say, Emily, I want you to be a co-host on a real piece.
Yeah, what if that's why they picked up old girl that left? Why can't I think of her name?
Oh, the one I don't like?
Yeah.
She remains nameless.
But think about it. What if they were like, yo,
I think they added her.
Tia?
No.
Hold up.
think they added her.
You never know.
I think they added Amanda Seales because they wanted, what's her name? Martin.
Tisha Campbell.
They wanted Tisha Campbell. I think they wanted Tisha Campbell. But Tisha she stays busy. She couldn't commit to that. So then they opted with Amanda Seales.
She's too old for those demographics.
She's not too old. She was very relatable.
No,
she
to
is
you.
Funny.
No, to you, she's very relatable because you have that.
And she's Jersey.
We're not selling the show to you. We're selling that show to the white folks and the Asians in California and the white folks in the middle of America.
Remember what you just said.
We can't sell Tisha
Remember
Martin.
what you just said.
Campbell. Yeah.
So you can't. Okay, so then Amanda Seales was all wrong.
Nope.
There's nothing wrong with being pro-black, but you got to know who your audience is, and your audience is not all black.
But Amanda, they wanted her to shut up and
But
be
she
and,
wasn't
and
respected
follow
by
the
black
thing.
people, though.
Well, yeah, whatever she considered it. She didn't know how to. She couldn't turn that off and go through those motions.
She didn't put her foot
Amanda
too many
Seales
times
is on an
in her
HBO notified show.
Right.
No
She's
matter
known.
how much screen time she gets, she's already there. You know, the black version of Girls. If you remember Girls, that TV show.
True.
If she was already in the public eye because she was on MTV, and she just reached the age quota. You know, coming into that, it was good to have her there. She was good for that. She was good. But you can't get past the personality.
All right, let's talk about Black Lives Matter.
Oh, and before you forget, I bet you $100 the Asian girl out next. What's her name?
What's she gonna do?
Ma?
Why? Cause she get
Jenny?
married
Nope.
to Jeezy?
They got a deal. They got a deal working out with Revolt. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to say that. They got a deal coming down the pipeline for her cooking, and they're all doing all that stuff. She gonna be out next.
Oh,
bet you
gosh.
dollars to donuts. I bet you dollars to donuts. Bet you dollars. What you mad at?
There's no
And her
because
cooking deal been out before the twins.
what I'm mad at is that there's nothing original about any of this stuff. Like, it's the same people. You see the same freaking people.
Yeah.
There are so many talented folks that deserve a chance. They're not getting a chance because you keep tapping the same
Because you
mother
got-
effers
yes.
all the time. Let's talk about Black Lives Matter. Cisgender.
Okay.
You, endangered species, y'all need to pay attention to this. So I tagged you on my
Okay, yeah.
Instagram because I was floored. Cisgender, denoting or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender corresponds with their birth sex.
Okay.
Yeah, I read it and it tore me up. I'm like, huh?
So basically, transgendered women refer to me as a cisgender, so I don't have to say that I'm a real woman.
It's a way
Because me saying I'm a real woman is offensive. Because they're women too.
So when you speak the truth, it's wrong now.
Now, see, this is where language always gets people in trouble, and we now take words that were common and didn't have any negative or evil connotation. I'm gonna take it back because you older than me. Remember retarded?
Oh yeah.
Retarded was in books. Retarded was in all your things. That means to slow down. Now, as soon as you call somebody slow, you know what I mean? Oh my God! How dare you? This is a way to get rid of the language and now change laws because the laws are written on the old language
And
to accommodate them.
Jeff,
or
I
whatever they're
heart
doing.
you. Truth, I heart you, but you two are endangered species. And if I were y'all, I would take up a war with Black Lives Matter, the organization.
No, why?
Well, it's
Black
not
Lives
run by
Matter?
black people.
All
People
right, I'm
kill
about
me.
to get there. I'm about to get there.
Run by black
All right?
people.
It's not about black people at all. It's not for black people.
organization isn't,
The
yes.
organization is actually funding the Democrats, and the Democrats stand by what I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
So, Black Lives Matter was founded in 2013 in response to the acquittal of Trayvon Martin's murderer. Okay?
Yep.
Keep that in mind as I go through this. Now, what's Black Lives Matter about? We affirm the lives of black, queer, and trans folks. Truth. See, we need to get this straight now, okay? Let me say what I'm going to say first, all right?
I apologize.
So you blamed me last time. I didn't even say shit to you. Go
Oh
ahead.
my gosh.
No, but I saw you from the corner of my
I
eye.
wasn't even looking at you.
We affirm the lives of black, queer, and trans folks, disabled folks, undocumented folks, folks with records, women, and all black lives along the gender spectrum.
Nigga, just say all lives matter then. Just come out there.
Did you hear anything about men?
There's got to be a man somewhere in there. Or an ex-man trying to be something else. I don't know.
We're they now. We're them.
Yeah.
We're pronouns. We're pronouns.
What we believe. All black lives matter, period. We make space for transgender brothers and sisters to participate and lead. We are self-reflective and do the work required to dismantle cisgender privilege and uplift black trans folk.
They really got that on there?
Yes.
Look. I'm
what
not
you
knocking.
I'm
trying
knocking
to
it.
say the words.
I'm knocking it.
I'm not. No, hold on.
Did you not hear what I just said?
I'm not knocking anybody trying to go to promote that or do anything.
We are self-reflective.
I'm saying that
and
organization.
do the work required to dismantle cisgender privilege and uplift black trans folk. Cisgender, denoting or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender corresponds with their birth sex.
So any heterosexual human being.
Black Lives Matter was founded in 2013 in response to the acquittal of Trayvon Martin's murderer.
I don't know.
I'm still waiting for the black part.
Yeah.
Can we get to that black part? I always tell people I look at this just like I look at the Katrina.
Uh-huh.
When everyone sent all that money to Katrina, and Katrina victims are still waiting for it. And the Red Cross bought new
Yeah, they had the Xbox
Mercedes-Benz
truck,
trucks
they was chilling over there.
with that money, and
Yep.
they said they were holding on to it for a later date. That's why I told people, if you want to donate something, do it the Wyclef's way, purchase it, and send it to the country.
Yeah, I don't know.
We build a space that affirms black women and is free from sexism, misogyny, and environments in which men are centered.
This is on their website.
Yes. We disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. In other words, y'all are removed from the homes. We foster a queer affirming network. We foster a queer affirming network. When we gather, we do so with the intention of freeing ourselves from the tight grip of heteronormative thinking, or rather the belief that the belief that all in the world are heterosexual unless she or he disclose otherwise. So in other words, people, being a heterosexual is a thing of the past. The main sexuality is basically being gay. Now, if you want to identify yourself as heterosexual, you could do that.
I don't know.
I'm white now. Tell you right now. If anybody says I'm black, I'm suing.
We cultivate an intergenerational and communal network free from ageism. Pay attention.
Gosh.
We believe that all people, regardless of age, show up with the capacity to lead and learn. 13-year-old Wade, whatever his name is.
Wade?
Dwayne Wade's son. That's where he falls in. 13 years old. Really?
Well, if they hook up with that goddamn Facebook group, they okay. Shit.
So that's on the Black Lives Matter about section. If you want to know, that's what they believe. It's under what we believe. Here's the thing. This is not good. If you're Black Lives Matter, you should be about Black Lives, period. I ain't got time for all this LGBTQ plus situation. None of that has anything to do with Black Lives Matter. You made this into an LGBTQ situation where basically you're telling me that y'all are above everybody else. You started off with Trayvon Martin, but I don't hear nothing about men. It's all about women and transgenders. Now we're cisgenders. And you want to eradicate us. You want to free our thinking. So we are thinking as you are? I'm confused.
This is the Nick Cannon shit all over again. Yeah, I want y'all to know that, right?
But you got to fine tune it.
You stop talking about it's not even. You don't want to fine tune it.
No, what I'm saying is if it's what I'm saying as far as the Black Lives Matter.
Well, no.
If it was started because of the Trey Martin thing, then it needs to be structured around proper the right lawyers, something against police, and this is where it was created.
Yeah, you're right, but how can you sell that? How can I give you to get donations?
Our
Support this
co-founders.
black man.
Well, that's
we
what
don't
they're
give a fuck
doing.
about that
Well,
nigga.
no, they're doing
You
it
get what I'm
already,
saying? Right.
but
So
they're spreading the money other ways. It's being brought to everyone as Black Lives Matter is do not continue to let yourself be disrespected by these false law abiders.
Right.
And when the money actually comes into Black Lives Matter, it goes to everything else that has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter.
You're right, but that's when they put that stuff out there, what she read.
Right, which is in the fine print.
Right, but they want those people because they're gonna sell it to those folks. So when they go to the LGBTQ plus people and they say, "Yo, man,"
I had the minus. Go ahead.
yeah, you know, and they go there and they say,
Well,
"Hey, man,
now we're
we
the
what we
minus. And that's why I added the minus, because we're cisgender and they're trying to get rid of cisgender.
So then what you're saying is, in the transitive property, black people always taking a back seat to shit. So the black hetero norms, the heterosexuals, if that's the case, then now they take the back seat. Okay, yeah, good job. They done killed y'all. Now go sit here in the back of the bus, and when we get something for y'all, we get something for y'all.
Unless if you're a celebrity
Right.
and you went to the left door and you walked through the left door, then you'll be good because you was already down with the gay scene.
Well, you almost have to, because if not, you're going to get the Nick Cannon treatment.
Exactly. So
You
basically,
see what I'm saying? Look, now you make comes full circle.
it came
now,
full circle. You see how the show go full circle. So Nick, you didn't get on your knees. That's what the problem is.
And that's why he put that tweet out. So you see what I'm saying? See?
Oh!
You mad at him? Yeah, see, look, so people like you, why you apologizing? Because I tried to keep my coins. And then when I couldn't keep my coins, and now y'all got mad for apologizing, I couldn't win
Nick!
home, I couldn't win there.
Nick, you need to come over here. Come over here, Nick, because hold up. So you had a door on your left, a door on the right, and then you had a straight line, okay? So the door on your left, you was told to get on your knees. Nick said, I don't play that. So you chose the door on the right, but you ain't had no safety because you didn't get on the knees had you gone through the left door. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. The left door would be getting on your knees. The right door is actually child sacrifice and drinking the blood. So I know you ain't doing that because you love your babies. Oh, shoot, Nick, so you went straight. Is that what it was? You really ain't had no protection.
Look.
Oh my gosh. So, truth, do we have to get on our knees? Like, I'm scared. That's a real question.
Shit. I'll be damned if I can answer it.
Oh, so y'all ain't gonna answer? I'll be like, oh, wait.
Here's what the greatest
This
thing
took
about
a left turn real quick.
well,
Sure did.
it's what we always talk about, and there's a difference between profit and greed, and rich and wealth.
Right.
And too many times, unfortunately, we have people of color say, I want to be rich, and we don't have enough of us saying we want to be wealthy.
True.
And the best way you can become wealthy is by owning something. That's not by jumping on someone else's situation. It's by owning something.
Okay.
And you got to start off somewhere. Just like Joe Bezos started off, his stock was $2.22 a share. Now it's over $2,000.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, who wants all black people to take it before the white people take it, him and his wife.
I'm so
They
sorry.
all started poor, and they bought something, they invested in something, and it blew up. But we as colored people, we don't want to invest in shit. We don't want to put the time and effort in. We want to jump on someone else's situation and then reap the benefits of it. And I mean, no disrespect to this man, a la Dr. Dre. Beats was sold for $2.3 billion. He only got $800 million.
Yeah.
Okay, again, it was sold for $2.3 billion, and his portion was $800 million.
And now he got to get
And
it to
all
his
they
wife.
did, they used his name, and because of him, it sold like it sold.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a prime example of jumping on someone else or someone coming up to you and saying, I just want to use your name as a portion, and be like, well, all right, you can use it, but if my name takes off stop, then I need proper ownership.
Yeah.
$2.3 billion, and he only walked away with $800 million.
Yep.
Something's wrong there.
Men,
So I ain't.
hold
my
on to your
knees,
pants.
Hell no.
because they coming for you. And if you ain't getting on your knees, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, unless the girl is bent over with some ice cream. Other than that,
Going back to Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot, introduced a cowboy. Excuse me. So the cowboy was introduced to combat the census. People are filling out their census, so she put on a cowboy hat, introduced this cowboy right here, and is that the cowboy?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
What the fuck is
introduce
that?
that cowboy right there.
Adam
And he's going to travel your neighborhood in Chicago to get you to fill out your census because your life really doesn't matter. Apparently, neither does his. Why? Because you can sleep in your bathtub hiding from bullets, and all she cares about is the census. Now, question for the Chicago residents. Why did y'all vote for her? We really would like to know. Fox Soul. If you don't know, Fox has a new streaming service called Fox Soul. Its headline or tagline is "Our Voice, Our Soul, Black News Programming."
Okay.
All right, so it's got a lot of different shows catered to the black people. People were, saying that this was such a bad thing, but I actually was okay with it. I didn't see a problem with Fox branching out to do something with the whole entire black audience. You know what I mean? That just means that more jobs opened up for more people, or the same people, but either way, I mean,
Okay.
Truth gave us an opportunity. We're nobodies. So there's a show called Mike and Donnie.
Okay.
Mike is the one that is with Cynthia Bailey. Okay? Donnie is somebody else. All right. So they had a guy panel, and they were talking about, let me give you their tagline real quick. Two guys from different sides of the tracks having real talk. That's what they say. They were talking about, on this guy panel, Candace Owens, and saying that she is not of our culture. While they were talking about her, they called her a coon.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
One of the guests said that her book smells like her thighs.
Yo.
Wow.
They said it smelled. Ah!
Wow.
I mean, it's funny because how the fuck can a book smell unless you really had a thing? But yeah, that's stupid.
His name is Nick Carthen. He's the host of the Hypothetical Questions show.
On the same channel.
It's not the same channel. I don't know where his thing is. And then the host Mike said, she's mainly out there being irresponsible and reckless. Here's my issue. We talk about Black Lives Matter. We talk about uplifting each other, and especially given the climate that we're in, it's best that we do try to uplift each other. We don't have to have the same opinions, but we don't have to tear people down. And when we talk about black women, why do you feel the need that you have to tear her down because you don't like what comes out of her mouth? You don't like the fact that she married a European. You wasn't trying to date or marry her, so why can't she go outside and find somebody who loves her and marry him? So she found this white guy. Who cares? She's happy. He's happy. All right. You felt the need to call her a coon. We're our worst enemies. Why did you feel the need to call her a coon? What did she do that was coonish because she supports Trump? There's a lot of black people that support Trump, by the way. There are a lot of people that have removed themselves from the Democrat Party because they saw what was going on. And if you pay attention to what I just talked about with the Black Lives Matter organization and how they're funded by, or not funded by, but their donations go to the Democrats because they believe in this whole cisgender removal of the man from the home and everybody bow down to the gays. That's a real thing. This is not all make-believe. You don't like Trump's policies. That's not my problem. Guess what? We all have a right to vote. The people spoke. Guess what? Trump won. So she's a very outspoken woman, a woman of color, that you felt the need to call her names. Shame on you. Maybe we should boycott Mr. Nick Carthen, because if you're a comedian, you weren't very funny. And then to say that her book smells like her thighs, excuse me, sir, that's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's wife. How dare you disrespect another black woman? Because what black men are good at is disrespecting black women. And Mike and Donnie, you're okay with this on your show? You all sat there and laughed like this was okay. Maybe I should write a letter to Fox Soul and say, no, you should be canceled because you offended me as a black woman. You might as well call me a coon. I'm not dating anybody white. I'm a registered Democrat. But just call me a coon anyway, because sometimes I agree with Trump. Just like Trump was in an interview, and they asked about the number of killings of black people by the police. And he corrected the interviewer and said, well, white people are killed more by police. Truth. Don't you remember months ago when you had that whole data of who was killed by the police more?
I don't remember it, but what they have to understand is you have to go further than math. There's so many more white people than there are black people. So when you do the statistical math of it, more black people are being killed way more than white people, percentage-wise.
Right, but she didn't frame the question correctly. But either way, the way she framed it, he was appropriate with his response. But let me go back to Mike and Donnie.
Yes.
You're ignorant, and you should be canceled. And the fact that, Mike, you have a whole fiance named Cynthia Bailey, she should have slapped you all up and down for what you said about another black woman. In fact, I should be trolling Cynthia, asking her, you okay with what your fiance said on TV?
When she
Well,
saw
not
that
on
check,
TV, on YouTube.
when she saw that check, she said, yeah.
Oh, so it's okay to put down another black woman for a check. Then maybe because you're on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, we should boycott you too. If the Jews could do it and the gays could do it, black women can do it too. If you don't want to bow down and give us the credit that we deserve, give us the respect that we deserve, then we should be able to cancel you. Mike and Donnie, I say we should cancel you. Cynthia Bailey, I say we cancel you because you obviously approve it. Because I didn't hear Mike get back on that show and apologize for the things that were said on his show. I didn't see him stop Mr. Nick and say, excuse me, you shouldn't talk like that. There was nothing funny about it. You just go ahead and disrespect black women? Now I know how y'all really feel. Be prepared because I'm coming for you.
Let me ask you a quick question.
What?
Would you have the same feelings if they were just talking about another black guy? If they were talking about a male version of Candace Owens? If they were talking about I forget the
Great point.
The sheriff who was doing the same stupid stuff, who was all for him.
I do. Because
You would
my
not.
feeling is
I honestly think you would not. I think his wife is probably okay with it because she probably shares the same sentiments and this is when I hate when they say the culture, because no one's of the same culture. Culture is specifically regional. What we do in New York and what we do in the South, what we do and what they do in L.A. She's just public enemy number one. She's the main target. So they are allowed for that moment to talk bad about her and forget the fact that she is a black female. Now, I'm with you to that point. If that's the case, don't disrespect her, period. You just be like, yo, that girl be bugging. Goodbye.
thank you. It would have been better if you said that you didn't approve of what she said and you don't even want to be bothered. But to go as far as to call her a coon, so you're calling her names, and then you make something inappropriate. You make some inappropriate statements. I have a problem with.
But I can't. But hold on. But I can't get past that fact because they have done that to black men on CNN, on what's the name, you coon, you this, and by all types of people, black and white, and you know what I mean. And it's like I don't see a lot of people share that same sentiment as you. But when they break it down to a woman, how dare you speak of the queen?
Here's the thing.
I think it's bad either way.
I agree with that. Here's the thing. If it's with a black man, I agree the same way. I don't think anybody should be calling. I don't think black people should be calling each other names like that. Just because you don't agree, you can say something that I don't agree with, I'm not going to call you out of your name. For what?
Right.
We can disagree. But this is ridiculous. And it's ridiculous against our black brothers. We need everybody. Did you not read the Black Lives Matter? Did you not hear what I just said? We actually need each other. Okay? We're not going to have any more men left or women. They're probably going to knock us out, take out our uterus so they can implant our uterus in a transgender woman so that woman could actually give birth. You don't think that's coming?
We far away with that.
No, we are not. No, we are not. It's a transplant. They're going to find fit that me being cisgendered, I don't need my uterus. What for? Because the true woman is a trans woman. They also on Fox Soul have a show called The Black Report. Now, what do you think The Black Report is about?
Black folks, I hope.
Hosted by 93.5 K-Day's morning show with Cece and Romeo.
93.5. There you go.
Cici Valencia. Fox Soul is dedicated to all black people. It's a black platform on Fox called Fox Soul. They have a show called The Black Report hosted by a Mexican. And with that,
Just say this, man. You can't know she's Mexican.
she is Mexican. I looked it up.
Is she Mexican?
Yes.
Yes. You heard the name.
I did my research before I...
So, really quick. Now, if you have to take that stance, then you have to take the stance of who's in control behind the scenes. Because when you find out it's an Indian person or a white person or something else, it's going to be an issue.
It is an issue. It is an issue because if it's the Black Report and you're on a black... I don't what's the proper term?
No,
Is it like a black... It's a black network? Or...
It's supposedly.
It's a black streaming... I don't even know the right term.
Are they only on the internet? No, they're on the station.
It's streaming service.
What's it only on the Fox streaming path?
Fox Stream, and then they're also on YouTube.
Yeah, it's still stream. Yeah. So
Okay.
So why do we get mad when Latin people claim they're not black, but they're actually putting one Latin there? She's still black. I mean,
She's
she may have
Mexican.
a twang to her name, but she black.
She's Mexican.
Same thing.
Mexicans are black.
They're all black.
But I'm thinking if
That's
it's a
all.
Black Report and this is a black streaming,
No, she wants it
Show.
completely segregated.
it
She
should
don't
be
wanna
black.
She don't want to see White Tom in the back. Like, yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's
That's
the
my
problem
opinion. It
with
doesn't
us
make
right
sense.
now. The fact that we want everything black, because blacks aren't going to stand with blacks. We haven't been taught that. Maybe in 100 years, when we're dead and gone, it'll be embedded in us properly. But as of right now, we're not taught to take care of us like other people are taught to take care of us. Or you give your boys the proper hookup as far as business-wise, like all these bankers. And we talked about Viacom, where they run everything, they own everything.
We're not gonna help each
when
other.
Prince went on that stage and said what he said about that Jews distribution, they killed his ass.
Because you letting the secrets out. Now look, you talk about platforms and networks. They own all the platforms. YouTube.
They won't
what's the
let you
name?
create another one.
Where you going? I'm letting you. You on borrowed time. You create another one. It's under the Fox. Fox is a white own thing. They're under the thing.
There are people out there that are creating a black-owned service.
Cool. Good luck. Good luck pushing it through because you have to go through the main people. And I'm not saying they won't succeed, but I'm saying it's going to happen.
I believe they will succeed because I think we're coming to a point where, here's the thing. This is where Nick messed up. Once you expose the devil for who he is, you're supposed to keep exposing them. So you sitting here apologizing for your own opinion and something that you learned, just like their opinions is what they were taught and learned. Guess what? You keep exposing them.
You can't do that. And
Why
I'm
not?
explaining why on your same thing. The devil is already proven. He always makes people believe he doesn't exist. And so the thing is, now you look like the craziest of persons when you reveal this truth. You understand what I'm saying? Look how crazy you look that you telling us Viacom got it out for you. You sitting out there talking about how bad the Jews is.
Okay.
But look how crazy it is. And we're going to go back to verbiage. This is what you were speaking about. How Black Lives Matter changed verbiage. It's anti-Semitic to say the Jews own the banks.
That's the point. They don't want you to put.
When
Like
it
I said,
could be a factual truth.
you don't want. They don't want. They don't want the secret, the truth out there.
Them, own most majority of the banks. I just made a statement.
They don't want the truth out.
You see what I'm saying? So if they control the path of information, they will always control us.
All right, so Viacom owns VH1, CMT, TV Land, MTV, BET, Comedy Central, Showtime,
A lot more.
True TV, A&E, TBS, Flix, WeTV,
There you go.
TNT, USA,
You done
and
hit
some
the
other
girls,
stuff.
all the girls we done talking, but look at them. Sorry, Tamar, you might have been killing
So
yourself.
here's the thing: if we're really down with, I don't want to say get rid of the Jews, but if we really wanted to make a statement, like our ancestors did back in the day, and we were really about protesting and protesting the right way, then we just boycott all their networks.
You have to pick your. All right. Here's the thing. Just like the best way it could have went down, but they prevented it immediately. It happened a couple of years ago with the NBA, when a supposedly black owner said something, racial slurs about his own players, about property and stuff like that, and they were going to boycott the playoff game. You know what I mean? $1 million. They'd have lost. All right. No one's going to watch the NBA with 5,000 white guys. It's not going to happen. No one's going to watch the NFL with 5,000 white guys. It's not going to happen. All right. No one's going to watch baseball without Latins. It's just not going to happen. So if you really want to take a true stand, all right, all you black NFL players, start your own league.
That's not gonna happen because they can't get the money right.
It won't
get the money right.
Oh, I need to get this amount, and you're not my player.
They're playing with pennies while they're playing with millions. And just an example, they got billions. If you own the team, you ain't worried about nothing.
Well, like I said, when they gave Shaq $200 million, oh, Shaq is rich, yeah, but the man who wrote that $200 million check is wealthy. What we just talked about.
Good luck. I love to see it happen, and I hope and pray it does. But it's a dream.
That's our show for today. I'm spent. Come back next week, and I will be again leading us off with the spoken word of the Star Spangled Banner.
As long as you get
verse
to the
2.
third verse, I'm there.